Greetings and welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. Wouldn't you know it, as soon as I get here, I get some weird artifact going on my camera there. Interesting. Let me bump this up a little bit, see if I can. Oh, that should be at 16 and roll that down a little bit. I was getting some artifacts in the green screen there. Whoa, that's even worse. Well, that looks better. All right, we'll run with that. I look like a pasty vampire, but let me do that. Let me go ahead and get rid of the paste. See, this is for the. I actually had somebody once say, like, you need to see a doctor. Your skin looks pale on your videos. Yeah, I can make myself look super pasty or like super sunburnt, you know. I mean, don't judge by what somebody might look like on their videos, man. It's all due to the lighting. I thought I had better lighting than that until I switched to this screen. That looks a little bit better. I don't know. Got a little bit more there. All right, that's good. I'm happy with that. All right, well, I hope everybody is doing well on this Weekly News Roundup. Oh, boy, we already have a long 15, 20-minute discussion going on just in the comment section alone right here. Oh, boy. This is going to be a fun night, I can see already. All right, let's see. I'm saying ain't popular nowadays, but good without the mayonnaise. Wait, what? What about the mayonnaise? Mayonnaise is gross. Ew. No. Anyway, hello, David. Greetings and welcome to the show. Christopher Noble, hello to you. Be one with the group, my brothers, and share your inner child. Hello, Knight of Light. Greetings to you. Now, something odd after manually uninstalling Firefox from Mint. A day later, my update wanted to update Firefox. Yeah, if you're pushing an update on many Linux distributions, it might reinstall things that you might have previously removed. Usually more of an upgrading to a new version would do that. I don't know if updating necessarily should. But anyway, that's odd. I'd have to look into that. All right, 5 seconds. I had a Windows PTSD. Oh, boy. Oh, I'm sorry. You had to go onto Windows? Is that what I'm hearing? Friday, sipping coffee, playing 4 accounts of Raid Shadow Legends at the same time, waiting for STL to start. There you go. Well, I'm sipping on my cinnamon stick tea today. Is it good? Tasty. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Hello, Ivan. Greetings there. Walmart no longer allows guest checkout without giving up a phone number. Yeah, I guess online. Yeah, Walmart has become very aggressive about wanting to collect phone numbers. Even using their free Wi-Fi, you have to give up your phone number. But there's actually a Walmart Wi-Fi account, a hidden SSID for Walmart that you can get into that the password has leaked online. I verified. It works at multiple different Walmarts. It is like they have their regular Walmart and then they have a subnet Walmart. And I tried it in like 6 different states, and it works. It's really funny. So there is a Walmart account that you can still get into without having to give up anything. It just requires a basic password to get into. No, I'm not divulging what it is. You'll have to see if you can't figure it out yourself. But it leaked onto a Reddit subforum somewhere that I found once. Hello, Fresh Vintage. If you're into cars, definitely check out Fresh Vintage's channel. Yet another Firefox casualty. Uninstalled Firefox and installed Brave instead. Ever since they began requiring accounts. Yeah, that's back to Walmart. Now you find all is with Walmart to get a how was your visit email if I pay cash instead of a credit card. So what's going on there is at some point in time you have given Walmart information like your email address. And remember that Walmart's technology partner is Microsoft. Their entire stores are completely full of facial recognition. This is how if you're using the self-checkout and whether you accidentally or intentionally misscan something, a couple days later the police might show up at your door arresting you for shoplifting a pack of gum at Walmart that accidentally failed to scan. And this is the reason I won't use those self-checkout lines. So yeah, they when you walk in, if you have ever given Walmart your email address, they know exactly how to contact you if you simply walk into the store. That's why they know. You would have to go in and if you have a Walmart account, you'd have to go in there and you would have to delete the account or something like that. Or if you're like California, you could request that they delete it because California has decent laws about that. But yes, it is true, though. They did identify you based on your anal print. You went to the bathroom, didn't you? That's... All right, I guess I bought my printer USB cord just in time. No longer need to connect to the internet. Yeah, that's the last brother printer I bought, actually with Fresh Vintage at a pawn shop in his town. I was like, I have a bigger printer. I'm just like, I just need a smaller printer. I was pricing smaller printers, looking at them, and we go to this pawn shop. And they have one of those nice brother printers. It's USB only, $10. Oh yeah, taking that. Still works great, by the way. So yeah, it doesn't even connect to the internet. I just plug it, set it next to the computer I need, plug it in. Every Linux distribution I've tried it on recognizes it immediately, and boom, print my docs. No big deal. Anyway, I just bought my, let's see. Hello, Mark. Greetings. Oh, God. My client just purchased a brother printer that I recommended. So there might be more to this controversy. Don't back away from brother quite yet, because really, what's your alternative? So we'll get into that. We'll get into their response to all that and things like that. Walmart, as they say, is the greatest city in the world. There you go. Walmart. Yeah, that's right. I was just in the greatest city in the world. Londuke says LibreWolf is woke. I'm going to be examining that, and I'm also going to be looking at the Zen browser. I was looking for something to replace Vivaldi anyway, because Vivaldi is becoming a steaming pile of horse manure, and I'm about to exile it from my machine. So I will throw Zen in place of that and give it a try for a couple weeks, and I will do a video on Zen browser. And I am going to look up LibreWolf as well. See, here's the thing. I don't really care if the people who run it are necessarily woke. I care if they're getting involved in woke politics. Now, if they are getting involved in woke politics, yeah, LibreWolf might be something we leave behind. But just because they have a different viewpoint, I don't really care. It's their insistence of cramming that viewpoint everywhere, then that is where we might have an issue. So I'm going to investigate it. I am not making any changes on that because I just haven't I haven't looked for the evidence yet. I'm sure it's out there. I just haven't had time to do so. But the craziness is drawing to an end. The craziness is drawing to an end. So we had another puzzle piece happened today, and I have a few more calls I need to do next week. Then we might get back to a somewhat normal life for a little bit. I don't know. Something about it I didn't like, but I forgot what it was. It struck a nerve word about me. Let's see. Massachusetts, they call it Walmarts. All right. Walmarts. Let's go to Walmarts. Hello, Mr. Snipes. Greetings to you. Darkosis, greetings to you. Hola, amigos. Actually caught you live. That's right. Made a pepper/feta bison burgers on homemade olive oil, raspberry, rosemary hamburger buns. That sounds really good, except the feta cheese. I have an anti-fetish for feta. I got it, and there's a story behind it. Back when I worked at the restaurant, back in the college days, inside of the pantry, Fresh Vintage might remember this. He worked at the same restaurant at the same time. That's actually where we met. And I worked in the bakery, and the pantry shared an area and a freezer, and they had this feta cheese back there in the refrigerator. And every time, invariably, I would open that door, the feta cheese would fall off and land on my head. Consequently, it is nasty and stinky cheese. I hate feta. Ugh, feta. Ugh. I'd rather eat like toe jam, like Richard Stallman or something, I just can't get on board with feta. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was absolutely tasty to you. And everything else about that sounds amazing. Bison burgers on homemade oil and rosemary hamburger buns. Oh my, that sounds good. Just hold the feta cheese for me. It's just not close to my nose. All right, X-Corrupted 4884. Hello to you, Mr. Corruption. Linux Mint missing cinnamon mint tea tie-in somewhere. I know, right? I could. Yes, I'm drinking cinnamon. I'm drinking cinnamon while I'm streaming on cinnamon. There you go. Head for even a darker dystopian future. Yeah. Got Arch Linux installed on my Asus VivoBook and had to turn off Intel Rest. All right. Very cool. Let's see. Kit2610, your number has been called. Greetings. Using Brave for a few years, never looked back. See, I mean, I use a multiple variety of browsers. Our news is on PsychoFox. Our streaming infrastructure right now is running on Chromium. And I have LibreWolf installed on this. I'm not sure if I have any other browsers installed on this computer or not. This computer, I keep only the exclusive software I need to do the work that I do. If there's any software that I'm not actively using, it simply gets uninstalled from this computer. So, you know, even basic system tools, I remove everything that's not absolutely required. All right, Epson Canon, that's it. Yeah, and Epsons are okay. Their scanners particularly good. I have never had really good luck with Canons. All right, Chrome-based browsers kind of suck. Yeah, that's the problem we have. $20 Walmart HP, still going good. Ink, though, sheesh, $49 for one color. Yikes. Yep. It all feels futile, I guess. If we can just eat, drink, stay clean and healthy, just surviving. There you go. All right, I don't care if businesses have opposing viewpoints as mine, as long as they don't cram it down everyone's throats. See, that's the thing. LibreWolf seems okay for me. Nice enough to delete everything on close, temp tokens, cookies, login info. There you go. Maybe you can convert a 3D printer into a printer and use a pen and pencil to print. Yeah, feta cheese is toe cheese. There you go. It's the issue with LibreWolf and Firefox, so many other children of Satan companies. Oh, just tune me out. Just tune me out against feta. Sorry for that toe jam feta cheese comparison there. That's just about how I feel about them. I don't know. Anyway, I don't imagine feta's much better. What happened to the Chad beard? Hey, man, I shaved it off. I can have another one in a few months. I've been debating about growing one back again. Just download Zen browser app image. Looks nice. Yep. All right. Use Firefox, LibreWolf, Brave on Google Chromium. That's for YouTube posting only. There you go. Canon printers have gone downhill the past 10 years. I'm not sure if they've ever been uphill. Have they? I'm not sure. 49 watching on ZTubies. We got 11 currently watching over on Odyssey. We are co-streaming in multiple different places. Just a warning from the Anchorage. He has the Thor's Banhammer mallet, so be wary. Would you consider doing a Firefox hardening tutorial, especially against browser fingerprinting? So there's not a ton to do about browser fingerprinting. It's simply an option, but even if you turn it on, it still says you have a unique fingerprint in the tests for it. I have considered updating my hardening guide. So maybe we'll do that. So I think our last hardening guide is 2022. So, yeah, canvas blocker's good. Oh, this extension is garbage, I guess. So I don't know. I haven't looked at it. And it looks like we have a potential need for the band mallet over there. It's a storm is brewing up. Anyway, 22 watching over on Rumble. Okay, on. Greetings to you. Hello, Dan. Greetings to you. Oh, brother, find your sister. There you go. By the justice of Thor, beware of the band mallet. It's rubber for safety. All right. Command Conquer went FOSS. Yes, I considered throwing that into our news, but it didn't really make the cut. Remove Firefox, installed the Zen browser. My work computer forced an update on me and rebooted to the mouse cursor, no GUI. Was able to get it working, but man, micro crap has fallen. Yes, it does. Walmart put a pair of cheap sunglasses on. Yeah. Is STL becoming a Zen master? Not yet. I am contemplating becoming a Zen master. Feta is toe cheese. All right. Isn't yes, sort of. Anyway, let's see. One thing more about desire or want more than anything else. There you go. All right, let me close that, and I can tolerate feta with some Greek dressing on it. There you go. Never heard of Zen, but yeah, it's a new browser. I don't even think it's like full mainstream yet. I think it's still like alpha or beta or something like that. Okay, I've had a lot better luck with Canon softwares. Yeah, the good thing about Canon is they do make drivers for Linux available, so that's good. I'd like to hear a hardening guide on a fork of Firefox instead of Firefox themselves. Well, the problem is that like LibreWolf is hardened Firefox. There's really not much more I could do to LibreWolf to make it more hardened. There's a few preferences I have, like getting rid of picture-in-picture nonsense and things like that. But for the most part, I don't. All right, it is 15 minutes in. Let's go ahead and get on into starting with the news. Let me take another sip of tea, and we'll get started. Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. These are recorded live Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch the show live, go ahead and do that. Today we have a regular lineup. We have privacy, security, we have data leaks, and we have AI, we have business, we have SillyVille. Hey, perfect, typical lineup. So, of course, you can catch the show, or you can come here, just catch the edited versions here as well. Let's go ahead and get into it. And time for Cheetos. Oh, yes, we will get into Cheetos later on today. We actually do have an update if you watched the level 1 news this for today. We have an update on the Cheetozard, so we'll get to that. That is in SillyVille, of course, at the end of the show, so stick by for that. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive on in here. First up, TikTok. There's a major investigation launched into the platform's use of children's data. This comes from the UK's ICO, the same organization that has demanded a backdoor into your data at Apple, so great. How wonderful. Now they're investigating to make sure that the children aged 13 to 17-year-olds are not being abused. Well, it's TikTok. Of course they're being abused. I mean, what are you going to do? Fine them? The Chinese government will bail them out, whatever else. If they don't, do weird things with your imports. But anyway, the idea here was that TikTok is a big social media program that is completely powered by algorithms, and for this reason, the UK government really wants to do a solid investigation about what's going on. Specifically, they want to make sure that kids are sufficiently robust to prevent children being exposed to harm, either from addictive practices or the device or the platform, or from content they see or other unhealthy practices. Well, that just sums up TikTok. What's the purpose of it? They also wanted to make sure that they weren't being, constant doom scrolled and things like that, which is something it would be nice if we had an option to say, okay, show me only like 30 posts and then I'm done, but no, they just want to keep on the doom scroll going. That's kind of the issue. But ultimately, the ICO wants to evaluate and investigate whether or not TikTok does actually collect data from people they know are under 13. How are they handling that 13 to 17-year-old data? And are they preventing the kids from being completely addicted to the platform? Now, of course, in my opinion, no, we shouldn't ban TikTok, but on a societal level, but on a household level, you probably should. A good parent is going to be monitoring what's going on, and it's obviously a little bit more of a challenge and a little bit more leeway at the same time at an older teenager. But when you're 13, 14 years old, you don't need to be on TikTok, and it's really the parent's prerogative to not only make sure the kids aren't doing that, but make sure the kids have alternatives. And that is very possible to do. So advice to parents, just don't let your children on social media too early. Maybe we do need to have some degree of a national minimum age for it, but I don't know. Those are discussions we have, but ultimately the most impact is going to be coming from home. And on to our final one in privacy. Gemini will learn to peer through your camera lens in a few weeks. Yes, they are rolling out a new Gemini app which can see things on your screen or your camera to interact with. So instead of trying to describe what you're looking at to the device, you can just share your screen with the device instead. Now, the good news is that this is an isolated app. You would have to install it, or if it's, I don't know, maybe it's installed and you might have to uninstall it or block it from starting if you really needed to. But the danger of this is once this app is there, allegedly it's only going to be collecting such data when you particularly give it permission. But do we really want some device on our phone that can listen to our conversations, see our screen, and detect what is coming through the camera to be totally connected to Google's servers. I have an eerie suspicion that this is probably going to turn out more bad than good. That's kind of my thought about this. So this is actually just a little demo there. Let me turn off volume in case there's any volume on that, but you can kind of see what they're doing there. And what they're working on is just kind of showing what's on the screen. Excuse me. All right. I think we're good. So we're just kind of showing what's on the screen, and then it's interacting and just kind of telling them the things that it sees there. And so that's kind of what the idea is. Now, allegedly, again, you would have to actually turn on the app and have it do this, but I just don't really trust an app like this, so connected to these types of servers that has so much access to sensitive data. What's on all the cameras, what's on the screen, what's coming through the microphones. And all this is going back to the Google servers. So I have a little bit of a problem with that. I'm not sure what you guys think about that. Let me know those in the comments as we jump on over to security news. And first up in security, we have PayPal's. PayPal has a new system that is called the no-code checkout. And this allows you to basically create a PayPal page or a some type of payment link that is now being abused by scammers, utilizing the same old method of doing a malvertising campaign. But remember that your malvertising campaign checks the root domain. And since the PayPal's no-code checkout option is tied directly to the paypal.com URL, what ends up happening here is the scammer takes out the ad proposing itself to be PayPal's customer assistance. And then you click on that and you'll notice it says here PayPal, paypal.com. When you click on it, now on a desktop, this is actually taking you to a payment page. Okay, so this is the no-code payment checkout, which is completely verified in a legitimate paypal.com domain. Now, if you're particularly dumb, you might actually click this button and give them money. You might actually do that. But what they're doing is on these pages, you can customize the information over here. And so instead of having the information about you or your order or what they're ordering, instead, what they've done is they've just said, hey, need PayPal assistance? Call this number. And of course, this number is not PayPal. This is the scammer. And then here's, the same number repeated, and then you say number repeated. So basically, they copy and paste their fake PayPal customer service as fields. And then this allows you to enter in the information. And so basically these are using this format, paypal.com/ncp/payment, and then it has a unique ID. And since these verify as actually being PayPal, now on the computer here, it's pretty clear to see what's going on. But on mobile, this is what it looks like. You click on the fake ad. Oh, by the way, this one here is also a fake ad. They have two fake ads. They go into Google, do a search, PayPal Live Agent. They have two fake ads, which are both malicious ads, and then an AI overview, which if there's enough of these fake PayPal ads, eventually the AI overview is going to start giving you the scammer's phone number instead of the real one. I mean, really. But then when you click on this, you get over here and you have what you think is actually PayPal's customer service line, because the official website down here is actually paypal.com. And so they have a really good way of scamming people in, utilizing these systems here of people looking for PayPal customer service, which, by the way, is an absolute bear to get. And I will tell you this says 24/7 customer service. PayPal does not have 24/7 service. I know, because they locked my account for the second time on this trip, and I had to call them up, and I had to wait until Monday to do it because they're closed. And consequently, now I have replaced PayPal as my primary credit card processor for my web design business, which is the only place I was still actively using it for lack of other options. Well, they pissed me off enough that I went ahead and found another option. So suck it, PayPal. I'm done with your crap. All right, on with that rant. I'll talk about my replacement later, maybe. All right. So attackers could hack smart solar systems and causing serious damage. So these are, if you've driven through deserts like I have, and you drive by one of those amazingly massive solar fields, they have all these solar fields that are feeding panels into an inverter. The inverter feeds back into a grid, but then you have to have a series of modules and checks and controllers. These are the same types of things I have in this van, right? If you are new to the channel, I am full-time in a van, and I'm a hashtag van lifer. And I have lithium batteries. Our whole show right now is running on lithium batteries, lithium iron phosphate batteries. And I have a charge controller. I have an MPPT charge controller. I have a BMS system here. I have inverters. I have converters. I have DC fuse boxes. I don't have any AC fuse boxes, but my inverter itself is self-fused. So I sort of do in that respect. So it's similar to that. Now, this is not dealing with one of my off-grid systems. Like this is an off-grid system. These are dealing with the actual ones going into the real power grid. You know, those ones that they're trying to force everybody to go green, even though it's completely inefficient, causes problems. A thunderstorm, like a hailstorm through Texas, completely decimated one of these fields not too long ago. And, you know, and if there's a whole bunch of snow and ice building up on these panels, well, unless you're going to send somebody out there to shovel the snow and ice off of thousands of panels at a time, you're going to be going without power for a while in a snowstorm. I'm aware of that too. I did have my solar panels be covered by 4 inches of snow. They actually don't generate electricity when they're under 4 inches of snow. I had to go up there and actually brush off my solar panels. Fortunately, we do keep a brush in the van for that instance. This is, though, dealing with the main grid ones. And it turns out that 10% of the world's solar power systems are run by one Chinese company that has, you know, about the same security as you'd have from a cheap $5 Amazon product you buy from China on Amazon that happens to have, you know, some Bluetooth connection to it. These systems were extraordinarily weak. Hackers were able to get into it using one vulnerability and control 1,000 stations at a time. And this company controls 10% of the worldwide solar power, all done at a central server insecured somewhere in China. Does that fill your heart full of joy and happiness about the green energy future? Nope, not at all. So be aware of that, guys. The hackers are coming. The hackers are coming. The hackers are coming. And with that, let's hope the hackers aren't AI, because we're going to be talking about our AI overlords next. And first up in our AI overlords, we have millions of stalkerware users are exposed yet again. Remember the stalkerware apps? You would install these silently on the device, and then it allows you to keep up on people. Now, there's been not necessarily stalkerware, but what might be more branded as accountabilityware. Like Covenant Eyes was one popular one for a while. I'm not sure if it's still around or not. You know, and these were consensual. Like, you know, I want to have accountability with an accountability partner. We install it on the phone. In fact, I did this for somebody once. You know, I installed it on his phone, and I got notices if they went to certain websites. And I was able to approve or block or see the reports and things like that. Now, he handed me his phone and said, install something on this. And I did. And so that worked out, and it worked out very well. It actually helped the issue he was trying to solve. And so that is an instance which is good. But usually when we're talking about stalkerware, a lot of these are, you find these a lot in Islamic countries where women have very few rights. I know it's hard to believe, but that's actually true. Look it up. When the men will put stalkerware on their wives' phones to always know where they are and what they're doing. They can see all the messages. They can see random screenshots. And so this is oftentimes used in more malicious circumstances than other ones. I'm not on AI news, by the way. So I'm on data leaks. I'm completely messed up, guys. I apologize for that. We're on data leaks. Wow, I goofed up. Anyway, sorry about that. So previously, M-Spy, PC Tattletale, then the True Spy. Previously, those ones leaked out. And Those ones obviously were pretty bad. This one here is 3 other ones. This is SpyZ, Coco Spy, and Spyic. These ones together, the bug not only exposes data from the victim's devices like messages, photos, and location data, but also allowed researchers to collect 518,643 unique email addresses of Spy's Eye customers, 1.8 million email addresses of Coco Spy customers, and 880,167 email addresses of Spyic customers. And apparently the bug is so easy to exploit that TechCrunch and the researcher found it not advisable to reveal any information since it's still exploitable to this day. So there you go. They're wonderful advice if you're thinking about installing such an app. Number 1, don't. Number 2, definitely illegal in almost every country unless it's done with government consent. I would disagree with that. If it's done with consent of the person whose phone it is and they're aware of it, it's fine. And they do say, or to monitor your children, and here rules can be murky. I'm sorry, no. There are no murky rules. If you are under 18 and you are in my house, I'm sorry, it is not against any rules or laws for me to monitor what you're doing in your devices. In fact, it's articles like this which make that first TikTok article the problem, okay? You as a parent can put this crap on and say block TikTok and prevent TikTok from being on your kid's phone. And then you can see if they're trying to get around that. You know what I mean? It is your child. If your child is a minor, it is not illegal to monitor your child. My Lord, people. Come on. All right. Now, if they're over 18 and they're unaware of it, that raises different questions. Obviously, once they're 18, you got to have that off. And I've always taken the approach, by the way, that it's always better to tell your kids you're using monitoring software. Don't just put it on there and look for them doing bad. You know, that's a little bit worse. But anyway, that is what's going on there. And of course, this is a fun data leak one here. Meta fired 20 employees for leaking information, and more firings are expected. They leaked confidential information outside the company. Why? Because they were mad because an orange person happened to be in the White House. Literally. They're just like, oh my God, where's your... See, here's the thing. I am glad Meta fired these people. You need to find every one of these stupid activists and terminate them from your system. Then they can sit in their basements all the time with their blue hair eating blueberries going, oh, the world just sucks. The world just sucks. No one can get ahead. No, get a little bit of responsibility, you moron. Why don't you go out into the fields and pick those blueberries? You know, I hear there's job openings because illegal people got sent back home. Yeah, awesome subscribers there. Good. See ya. All right. Job is done here. All right. Now, if you want to help support the channel after all that rant, you can, we use affiliates around here. Whoa, okay. Apparently I'm going to have to, let's deny, let's see. Nope, deny. All right, denial. All right. Apparently A2 Hosting is now doing cookie tracker opt-ins. That's a bummer. Anyway, you can help support the channel over with our affiliates. Today we're highlighting A2 Hosting, tlm.li/A2H. I still use this with several of my clients. All my clients that I'm not directly hosting their stuff, I generally refer them over to A2 Hosting for their good hosting plans. You can do your shared plans as low as $3 a month. And that's for your 3-year, up to a 3-year term. And then they go up to their regular pricing, which is still pretty good pricing. So you can, if you need a website, you can go ahead and use A2 Hosting, tlm.li/A2H. And with that, now we are actually moving to AI news. Sorry about that. Let's have a look. Alrighty, there we are. All right, did we piss anybody off? Is anybody all leaving now? Y'all want to leave because I called those poor asylum seekers who are brutalizing people in the streets illegals. All right, well, good riddance. All right, let's go ahead and come on back. We got 77 watching on the Tubies. Let's see, did we have a big peak? Oh, no. Wait a little bit there. Maybe we lost a couple. I don't know. Anyway, not time for Cheetos yet. Into this section. All right. And when I worked at GCOM, they had those high-end Canon printers, the large ones. Those things break down quickly. The plastic is cheap. Yep. Glad I never had a tic-tac-toe account. All right. Good evening. Just got done cooking some shrimp tacos. Ooh, that sounds good too. Greetings, Keegan. How's it going? Cheetos wrapped in bacon. Thank me later. See, I've never been a huge fan of like cheese puffs. Cheetos brand are the only cheese puffs I can really eat confidently. I gotta say the Cheetos brand are pretty good. Other generic cheese puffs, ugh, not a fan. Not a fan. Maybe I just don't like cheese. I don't know. I despise feta cheese. Not a big fan of that. That's kind of true. I'm not a huge fan of cheese. Roshi, greetings. Maybe the UK government should work on protecting children in real life, considering what's happening over there. Yeah. But you'll set a saucy meme on the internet. But the children in the park over there are getting stabbed. Did you see the other day when a kid, kids were out in a playground playing, and a bird flew in a severed human hand and dropped it in the playground with the children? Like, signs are bad over there. Now, that wasn't like a crazy knife attack. I think that was actually a stupid kid that blew his hand off. But, like, what? UK has some other problems to worry about. They have serious in real life crimes going on. They don't need to be focusing on what people over the ocean are doing on the internet. I think the Tic Tac issue is just a scare tactic. The tactic issue, because we always need that enemy. There you go. Ticks talk. There you go. Yeah, I want a camera watching me and telling me something in my teeth. Yep, there you go. All right, like a Vanther. That's right. I got a Van Panther right here. Oh, come here, Van Panther. Yeah. Pounce on that like button just like this Van Panther right here. Hey, Kitty, want a message for me? Everybody, hit the like button on whatever channel you're on. Thank you, Kitty. Awesome. All right. You want to sit right here? Oh, here. Let me get that. You want to sit in my lap? Go ahead. Let me flip you over. There you go. Now I can rub your belly while we read our comments. Yeah, I'm rubbing a kitty belly while we're reading our comments. All right. Business doing good in spite of inflation. Yeah, people need to keep their computers running. They can't afford new ones. Upgraded 2008 Dell laptop because it does not have a camera. Oh, there you go. Slowly canceling everything I have online. Amazon was the first one after I found out who they hired to deliver stuff in my town. Oh boy. That's got to be a saucy story. I've done my best to run lean, but considering another cut. There you go. I use a Dell laptop, also from 2008, quite often. Maxed out the RAM and threw in an SSD. Still works. Yeah, when I pulled down the other computer up there, I was looking for specific ports. Now that little Dell Inspiron has 3 hard drive ports. I can fit 2 SSDs in there. Like 2 M2 SSDs in there and a third hard drive all at the same time. And I'm only using one of the 2 RAM slots in there. Dude, I could beast that thing out. Anyway. Things right. Found someone who was watching me the whole time. I just wouldn't care. Now you start messing with them after a while, right? Mental freedom, not paranoid. No, it's not. I mean, it's mental freedom though in a way that's not necessarily good, right? Let's see. I believe humanity will win in the end. It's just on a low level right now. Preparing for no locks, no security. Just trust in humanity. Mike Jones, you are going to be in for a hurtin'. In fact, the way that the good book ends, it is humanity that is crushed. It is in Christ you must trust. All right. Anyway, imagine trust ruled us, not law. We've had so much disposable income. How much spend on military? What a joke. Well, you got to spend it, unfortunately, because you can have utopic thoughts in your head, but the terrorists trying to kill you won't. That's a problem. But, you know, that's it would be nice, but the only way to have that is in the end times with Jesus on the throne. That is what is going to cause that world you want. But as far as we're on this side of it, yeah, not the case. Mike, go micro hydro if you have a stream. Ooh, there you go. So I'm convinced it can't be used for religious abuse. Which one? Went down the data breach rabbit hole. Found I've been in almost 100 data breaches and everything about me is on the dark web. Yay! Woo! All right. Just don't give your kid a smartphone. If you find they have one, do the boot, scoot, and boogie on it. Howdy, everyone. Forgot today was Friday. Awesome, man. Orange person in the White House. Hello. Orange person is going after him. That's right. Inefficiency that bugs me is that Windows Defender takes 60% CPU at random time. Yeah, that's a problem. That is a huge problem. Isn't orange the new black? Oh boy. Seems Alberta is seeking to be the 51st state of America, so you can visit there. There you go. Might be coming this summer. I don't know. I have a sneaky suspicion it's not going to move. Spawning your kid, you have issues though. No, that's not true. But again, like if you're doing it without their knowledge, in a way where they would expect it, that is certainly the issue, right? There's something bad about going in and snooping in those types of ways. But you have to set up a family relationship with your kids where you're like, this is not because I mistrust you. This is because I mistrust the world who is out to get you. And them sitting down with your kids and saying, we're putting this on not because we don't trust you, we're putting this on to protect you. You set a completely different tone for the technology, and that is what makes good parenting. So that's the case. Don't like cheese? Blasphemy. I know many people that say I'm a blasphemous for not liking cheese. So, well, kids left to their own devices online isn't wise. Yes. Let's see. Aw, cute Katie. I have 3. One is 22 years old and still going strong. Oh, hey, Kitty, over there. I have a 17-year-old cat laying on the bed over there. And if that cat lives to be like 22 years old, I am not quite sure what exactly I'm going to do with it. So there you go. That kitty over there. That kitty over there is 17 years old. Yep, she's an old geezer. I'm gonna put her to test driving sometime. There you go. Kids recently had a high school gal use her phone to subtract $214 from $3 to calculate change. Oh dear. Humanity will lose, but Christians will win overall. Yes. I don't miss running an antivirus. So how's my evening? My evening as well. How is your evening? All right. Hello, Daniel Stresser. Hola to you. Systech 911 Tim, hello.
Hi Tim, how are you?
All right. Let's see. We got over on Odyssey. We got 14 on Odyssey. Yeah, we all know what socks are for. Time for some Cheetos. All right. We have parenting issues around online platforms. The internet was never meant for kids in the first place. Yeah. Perfect way to map your house and surroundings, not to mention the Wi-Fi Bluetooth mapping. There you go. Stockware, basically anything made by Apple, Google, and Microsoft. There you go. Let's see. As for Meta, I'd rather protect my privacy online using NoScript, Pi-hole, uBlock Origin, approximately 300 email addresses. There you go. I thought I had a lot of email addresses. UK, utter catastrophe. UK, useless kingdom. Yukistan. Awesome. All right, 20 watching over on Rumble. Let's see, we got peeps, don't forget to spring ahead on Sunday. All right, yes, daylight savings time on Sunday. Don't forget. Oh, I hate that time too. Remember one time I didn't know it was daylight savings time, and I'm driving on a trip, and I was driving like super late at night. I'm like, okay, I just got to pull over and rest for an hour. So I remember distinctly what time it was on the clock. And I went to sleep. And I woke up. And it was earlier than the time I went to sleep. Totally messed me up for a long time. I'm like, what the hell happened here? Not until I looked at my phone did I realize, oh, the time change happened. And the clock on my dashboard's not right. What? Oh, dear. Nothing like, it's like when you fall asleep during the afternoon, you wake up after dark, you don't know what day it is, you know? It's kind of the same thing. I got totally lost for a while. Like, did I really sleep on the side of this road for 24 full hours? What? Hello, Fight Like Hell. Greetings to you. Minors have no privacy parents, yeah. Let's see. Oh no, Orange Man bad. Whee! There we go. Americans love cheese. Not this American. Of course, I'm really a space alien, so maybe that explains it. I don't know. cheese on bacon, beef patty. See, that sounds pretty good. So next year, your cat can vote. Awesome. Hey, man, why not, right? Why not? All right. And let's go ahead. We got 83 on Zatubies now. Let's go ahead and just catch up the last couple things. Hello, Kitty. I have an orange and white cat, too.
Hi, Peter. How are you?
All right. We have to let Sullivan know about the time change. Oh, yeah, we do need to let Sullivan know about the time change. All right, guys. UK, undeclared Kremlin. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in. I need to, apparently I've been eating Kermit the Frog, so let me, all right, there we are. All righty, let's go and get on in. We got, now we got our AI news. All right. Cat must be MAGA. There you go. Why not, right? First up in AI news, and yes, we're actually on AI news now. Right then, somebody tries to call me for a second. So let me give that a second, make sure. They know I'm doing a show right now. At least I'm pretty sure they do. We're going to restart that. All right, first up in AI news, and we are actually in AI news now. Sorry about that. Hey, look at this. AI news. AI doesn't belong in the classroom unless you want your kids to learn all the wrong lessons. This was actually an interesting article to read because it wasn't about AI always right or AI totally wrong. What it has more to do with is our mindset. Then we go and approach something with AI. We are assuming, whether it's true or not, we are assuming that what AI gives us is a correct answer. And so this somehow causes our kids to not learn as much. Now, this is interesting because in education, there is a doctrine of first things. So the first thing you might learn about a subject, you think that is true, even if it is incontrovertibly false. And we can think about things that we have all been taught young in the younger ages that are now kind of known to not really be true today. I'm trying to think of a decent example. One example coming to my mind now is, but even this is still controversial. But it's the controversy of, is Pluto a planet or not? So when we're raised up in school in my generation, Pluto is definitely a planet. Nowadays, some people are saying it's not a planet, while others are saying it is. Some of the schools are trying to teach that it's not a planet, and some schools are presenting it with it's kind of up in the air and questionable. And so this is one of those things that causes you to learn when you have to stop and think about it. I can think about it as I was a brand new Christian as an adult, and I was given a bunch of books by a bunch of different people, and I'm reading them. And two of the books in particular had very contradictory messages as to what the Bible might allegedly teach. And so I read each of those books, like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. And I read another one, wow, this makes a lot of sense, but it's contradictory to this one. That drove me to read to see what the good book actually says and say, okay, this one author is full of nonsense, and this one author is actually presenting the truth as things are written. And so it forces a form of discernment. And that's really what was going on in this article, where if in education, you have to present problems to kids where they can move through an incorrect answer to a correct answer. And it's that process of working through it, which is what causes the best learning. And the problem we have, if you go back and read Neil Postman's book, either there is two of them, Amused to Death is one of them, or Amusing Ourselves to Death. One of those is a Roger Waters album. One of those is the book, Transverse the Titles. And the album is awesome too. The album is awesome. The book is awesome. And they actually have very similar themes in them, by the way. The album from Roger Waters is about the dumbing down of culture by the media culture, where in the book really goes into the scientific research thereof. And curiously, they were actually put together about the same time. Postman also did another book called The Disappearance of Childhood, which had a lot of the overlapping principles involved in this as well. And what he basically said is the advent of media education dumbed down the kids. And he wrote this back in the 80s, by the way. It caused a dumbing down of our kids because the media, like watching a video or things like this, they just kind of give you the surface. You assume it's true. There's no challenge to your presuppositions, and it's so easy to consume that you can learn it. You can learn the basics really on the surface level. You can answer questions about it in the moment, but if you come back a week or two later without any further study, you'd forget almost everything about it, because it doesn't walk you through a problem. Whereas if you go to learn the same material, working through problems and going through and looking at what the various problems are, then you work through the situation and you learn the material a lot better. I saw this as a college professor, and I was a college professor right when the online homework solutions were first being presented. And we used them in one of my schools. I'm sad to admit that I was the one that made the decision to use it in the school, but it was a very good learning thing for me as a professor. When kids use online homework systems, their competency drops like a lead rock. They are pass fail. They are do whatever it takes really quickly. We're not working the problems. We're not finding the solutions. We're not moving the process in the right way. And that's exactly what the article is saying, is when we start utilizing AI in our classroom, the first major assumption is the AI is going to be right. So there's no challenge. There's no problem to move through. You're just being presented with facts. So it's basically a regurgitation exercise. And that's really all we get. And that is problematic. But there's also times that it says errors because AI is programmed to always give you a response. It can't be like, I just really don't know about that. You know, now it has things it can't talk about. Well, I can't talk about that. It doesn't have anything it doesn't know about. Because if you ask it something that it legitimately doesn't have an answer, it just starts making it up. But it does so in such an authoritative way, you might actually learn something wrong. And that's really what the issues were here. So there were a fundamental issues, serious issues in the research utilizing AI in order to do the education. So that certainly is something to think about. But you knew it was coming, folks. Google is now testing AI-only search. This isn't, okay, now we have this AI nonsense that we all have to scroll past to get to the actual solutions we're looking for. Nope. They're saying that list of links, it's unnecessary. You type in the answer. You type in what you're looking for, and we'll just tell you what it is. And if you need more refined, you just tell us how to refine it, and we'll refine it further. This is frightening because there's no discernment. That thing I talked about with reading those different Christian books. There's no, I'm going to read this article on this topic, and then I'm going to read this article on the same topic from a different perspective. And now I have to use my world, use my knowledge, use other resources, and figure out which one of these two contradictory points is true and which one's not. They are getting rid of that. Now, truth will be determined by Google's AI. This, by the way, is that last phase in the selfish ledger. We haven't talked about the selfish ledger in a while. Go look it up. This was an internal document from Google. It leaked. It was an internal training video, and it talked about the various three phases. Phase 1 was to get everybody used to using the services. They accomplished this very well by having all these amazing, good, free services. And, you know, it would be an oddity if somebody doesn't have a Google account in some way or the other. Now, some of them use them more than others. I just use mine for YouTube and a few other little minor things for business. But I am not a Google account relier. I don't do it at all. I don't have Google email addresses. I don't stay logged in. I don't use a lot of general Google services in that respect. But that was phase 1. It's to get people using the products. Phase 2 was to utilize the products to fill in the gaps of information. You have to now find out the information about the people that you don't know. This is where the acquisition of Fitbit had to come into play. So when you acquired Fitbit, they now acquired into their servers all sorts of real-time health data on you as you kept these watches on and let them go in and handle all these data points. They need to know your weight. They start pushing you ads for smart scales. They want to know your favorite color. They'll give you weird little quizzes. They'll give you options with various things and measure, do you go to the blue one, the red one, or the green one naturally. They are utilizing their systems to fill in the gaps. Phase 3 of Selfish Ledger, that's exactly what this is. Phase 3 of Selfish Ledger is to push the society in the direction that the company wants them to go. This is phase 3 of Selfish Ledger, folks. You're not getting a group of results anymore. You're going to be given what the AI says it is. If you want clarification, you ask on a clarification and it keeps going. Now, the saving grace right now is that this is for the premier subscribers to the service. And so, but that is still, it's being tested there. They're going to roll this out to the point where you ask it a question and it's just going to give you an AI response. And you can ask responses to clarify that AI response, but it's not giving you a list of links anymore. Which means if you're going to Google to find my sites, you go, I like Switch to Linux. They won't send you to switchtolinux.com anymore. They'll summarize stuff and give it to you. This is insane, guys. This is the last phase of their plan. This is societal control. And the only thing we can do about it, folks, is to stop using Google. Stop using their search. And we talked about Google, in this case, the search engine. Switch to other search engines. Startpage, now I wonder how this is going to impact Startpage, which uses Google in a data sterilized proxy. Use Startpage, use DuckDuckGo, use Brave. Even if you're not a huge fan of those engines, whatever we need to do, we need to knock Google off its dominance. That is the thing that we need to do, because this is actually quite terrifying. But with that, those good feelings in your mind, let's have a look at business news. First up in business news, Microsoft gets to take a little trip behind the barn. Skype gets to take a little trip behind the barn. Microsoft's like, come on, Skype. Come on, Skype. Come on, Skype. Come on. The silent shell will ring through the air, echoing down the farm hills as the farmer comes out. Old Mac Microsoft comes out from behind the barn, and no Skype is to be found. Yes, May 5th, they are closing down Skype. So what they're saying right now is if you want any of the data, any of the logs, any of the information, log in now and grab that data yourself. It is all allegedly going away. Of course, it'll probably stay in cold storage in Microsoft servers for a long time. You never know when they might want to go back and search back 25 years of your Skype history to look for your wrong think, but So you can actually go on there and download your information. Of course, Microsoft acquired Skype, I think it was like 10, 15 years ago they acquired Skype. And then they proceeded to run it into the ground, and they really started to deprioritize it and shutter it down in response to moving everything over to Teams. So basically, what is this? Embrace, extend, extinguish, right? They embraced Skype, they extended it a little bit, cramming it into the system, and then they extinguished it when their own service, which was collecting far more data and far more integrated into the systems, got out. And people are like, they changed their ways. You do realize that embrace, extend, extinguish is a long-term play, right? So I have a little leery of them being involved in the Linux Foundation, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, that is certainly what they're doing down with Skypey boy. And this is a very interesting one here. Obviously, I do not in any way, shape, or form recommend 1Password or any other online password manager, including the open source Bitwarden. I'm sorry, I just think a giant vault of your passwords on the internet is a fundamentally bad idea. But it's convenient. It ain't worth the convenience. Don't forget that LastPass breach. People stole all those master passwords. Sure, they couldn't get into them yet, but they have physical offline copies. They have infinite amounts of time and computing power and third world country slaves to bust into those things. And once they bust into those things, then they are going to be able to access everything that is in those vaults. That's the problem with having password managers on the internet. That being said, this is a really neat idea, the way they're implementing it. So this is from 1Password, and their concern here is we have all these stupid apps. Of course, I don't recommend stupid apps either, but they have all of these stupid apps that are, your Ticketmaster, your coupons, your whatever else. So now what you can actually do in your 1Password is you can apply a location to something. Now, they're saying that the location data is only stored on the device. It's not stored on the servers. If we can trust them to that, then this is actually an interesting concept, because if you need to log into something rather than doing the painstaking difficulty of searching, like if it's tickets, it's probably Ticketmaster. You know what I mean? So it is kind of a solution looking for a problem, but the concept is neat. Let's suppose you have 1,000 items in your password manager and you just can't remember where your coupon is at. Well, you can set locations now to your passwords. So you can set individual locations. So if you're going within a certain location of something and you open up the password manager app, then it's going to show you all of the passwords tied to the present location. Which means if you're going to, your mother-in-law's house and you save the password for their Wi-Fi, then you can go there and you can click the button for location search, and the top of the list will be mother-in-law's house because you're standing in the middle of it going, what's your password? And so there is an interesting application for it. And the way they're doing it, they're saying, of course, that everything stays offline. Not sure what the need for the map is, but here, if you go and you're searching your area, you can see what is in my nearby areas. So from this place here, nearby areas, we got Starbucks, we have office door codes, and we have medical records. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. It's a neat concept. I think it is more of a solution looking for a problem, because if you have that many things, you can't keep track of where the app is that you need to log in for the particular event you're on. Dude, I think you might be a little bit too busy in life, but I don't know. That's my thought. And on to our last article in business. Oh, brother. Of course, we probably all saw that video from Louis Rossmann this week saying that Brother pushed a firmware update that ended up doing the same thing effectively that HP does. Now, Brother actually comes back and refutes this. So here's one of the major limitations on Louis Rossmann's CAT, Consumer Action Task Force, which I think is a really, really, really good thing. I really do. And so with that, it is a good service, but almost all of the information is done with anecdotes of people on the internet. Now, some of these are absolutely factually true, and we can find it. We're scraping from the company website. What types of things is Netflix doing when you're subscribing stuff? What types of things is Amazon doing? And as I said, I think Louis Rossmann got the Amazon situation slightly wrong. And I know a lot of people in my comments apparently were unhinged, brain dead people coming from his video because they were all like, you're an Amazon shill. You haven't watched my content if you think I'm an Amazon shill. Particularly part in that own video itself where I said I don't buy ebooks on Amazon because it's anti-consumer. I'm not sure what part of Amazon shill that happens to be. But the only thing they did is they prevented you from being able to download the book and move it to a Kindle offline. They are not changing your ability to download a book from a Kindle offline, just to grab it from Amazon offline, because they only had that function because of the first generation of Kindles did not have wireless internet. Not a lot else changed. You've never bought a book on Amazon. You've never digitally owned the book on Amazon. It has always been licensed. I wrote that in an article I wrote for the stream 2 years ago. This is not a new concept. All right. But in this case here, an article showed up. I'm not sure if he wrote it, but an article showed up utilizing anecdotal statements from people on Reddit that after a Brother update, their printers wouldn't work with non-genuine ink toner cartridges. So that is what the allegation is. Now, is this true or not? The company itself says no, they would like to investigate a little bit further, and they've even suggested that, yeah, we're trying to correct the record here, because Brother traditionally has been a company that doesn't care if you use third-party toners. Now, to Rossman's point in that video, well, maybe they're looking at their bottom line and going, so many people have bought our printers, but they're not buying new printers and they're not buying cartridges, so our revenue's dropping. Maybe we should push a firmware update. That is the allegation. So I think that more research might be needed. We might have to look into this. But what some people were saying is that the Brother printer may not always recognize the non-original toner right away. You might have to take it out, put in an original, even if it's empty, take that one back out and put the non-genuine one back in. It might be an issue of after a firmware update, you might need to take the toner out, put the toner back in again. There were a number of potential issues. The only thing I want to say is that yes, there is something with Brother we are watching right now. Brother refutes what Louis Rossmann says. And so it's this one, to me, I'm not completely on board with. Let's ban Brother right now. Let's keep an eye out. Let's see what the actual evidence says. Let's see if there's actual research done beyond anecdotal evidence from Reddit, because we know that that's the place to go for the beacon of all truth. I mean, if Reddit's the best place, let's go to 4chan. Hey, if 4chan's not doing it for us, we can always check out 8chan, right? I mean, that exists, right? I've heard of it. Can't say I've been there, but I'm not sure I've been on 4chan either, to be honest. But there is questions about this. This would be sad, if true, very sad, because Brother is the one printer company I always push people to, because they are very good printers. They're very solid printers. They work very well with Linux. Out of the box, I've had nothing but good things to say about Brother printers in the past. They don't stop printing because it detects it's low in toner. It allows me to keep on going. I've had no problems using third-party ink cartridges. The other factor is they were saying that this is the color printers specifically, not the black and white, and it didn't prevent you from printing. It would just do so with misaligned color. Again, that might be an issue where if you pop the cartridge out, pop it back in, it might solve the problem, but I don't know. So there is some dispute about this one. I think we need to look around and wait around and see if we can't find more facts before we jump on down the ban Brother pipe hole, because what else are you going to do? Certainly don't go for HP, and Epson and Canon, they're more hit or miss. I don't know. Maybe it is true. The oatmeal is right. Printers are sent here from hell to drive us mad. I don't know. Anyway, with that, if you want to, let's go on over to your favorite place and mine. Almost closed the show up instead of going over to SillyVille. How could we possibly miss? But first up in SillyVille, of course, for that crossover of the Pokemon nerds on our channel. If you did watch the Level 1 news today, they talked about this, and they actually completely they underpredicted. They predicted this thing would just go for maybe $1,000 or so. Nope. This is the Cheeto Czar. It is the Cheeto that looks like a Charizard. It sells for $87,000. Someone get this to Level 1 Tech. They underpredicted that one. Now, the one they were saying that actually did perform, this is the one they said that it's not even possibly going to go for that. This was the Pikachu. This sold for $25,000. So this is the one they said, oh, that was an anomaly. This thing will not even come close to that. Nope. Triple that and keep going, buddy. $87,000 for a Cheetazar. I wonder if it's the same guy that bought the Pikachu. All right. Well, with the non-tech news out of our system, let's go ahead and see what technology is going on. This one was great. This is a ransomware threat that is actually being mailed by letters in the U.S. Postal Service. Now, this is actually particularly dangerous for the scammers, because sending malicious mail over the internet is an immediate felony. Like you could go and kill somebody in the streets and dance on their dead body in many of our cities in this nation, and you might get slapped on the wrist. But you do mail fraud across state boundaries or country boundaries, and they find you, they will lock you up for the rest of your life, folks. I don't know why. But sending people malicious mail through the postal service will land you in far more trouble than slaughtering people in the streets. I can't figure it out, but that's actually what's going on here. Business owners and CEOs across the United States receive customized ransomware threats from letters in the mail. Letters which were first reported by multiple cybersecurity researchers claim come from the ransomware group, is it Buy-in Lion, I think? But since Malwarebytes first started tracking Buy-in Lion a year ago, the intelligence analysts have never seen a cybercriminal gang resort to sending physical letters to make the ransomers, suggests that the latest snail mail campaign is probably copycats. The threat, however, is quite real, especially for small business owners who rely on themselves or contract IT services to investigate technical issues. So basically the letters have this return address. So I don't know what's over at that particular address. That would be an interesting thing to see. They're listed as time sensitive, read immediately. Basically, you have 10 days to pay with a bunch of Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. And here is actually a copy of the letter. And they actually said it was, they said the letters themselves include a few grammatical errors and are better sentence structure than the typical Buy-in Line ransomware note. So the analysis of how bad the writing was told them this probably is not the same gang. I don't know. So anyway, be checking your snail mail for ransomware threats. And then just hand them on over to the postmaster for inspection. I'll tell you what, man, here's the danger of these cyber criminals doing this type of stuff. This is far more trackable than your emails are. Oh, they could go back. The postal inspector could go back and figure out the source of this thing. Bring it. Bring it. We need the postal inspector to lock up the criminals for the rest of their lives. All right. Let's not let the bed bugs breach. So, of course, there's Doge and Elon Musk, and of course, Elon Musk is he's been known for being fairly heavy-handed in, sleeping at the office, sleeping for an hour at a time at the office, get up, do a pile of work at a time. And so because of this tight ship they're running with Doge, a company comes in and says, hey, we have some beds, some smart beds for you guys. So he's like, sure, we'll take your smart beds. I mean, we need beds for our interns to sleep on in the office so we don't let them go home. Yeah, that's kind of a problem with what they're doing. For the most part, I like what Doge is doing, but please let the people go home and have a life too. But anyway, these particular mattresses they sent, these are from 8 sleep pods. So the smart beds offer sleeping, reading, custom positioning, snoring mitigation, and come with a hub to keep a sleeper cool or cozy depending on their preference. These beds appear to have been supplied FOC, but they aren't cheap. If you want to buy them, they are, let's see, the Cali King Pod 4 is $5,000 and requires a monthly subscription of $17 or $25 for data collection, of course. The problem that they found is that there was an active AWS key embedded in those. So anybody who had access to that AWS key could get in there at any point in time and run arbitrary code inside the bed using SSH. That's all I need. I'm in their bed sleeping, and some weirdo at Amazon's in there with the SSH. I can't watch this. This is neat. Somebody at their company, right? There's a guy over here sleeping. He likes it cold. I'm about to raise the bed's temperature of 50 degrees. You got some psycho back there SSHing into my mattress when I'm just trying to get a good night's sleep. Hackers or malicious insiders could pivot through the bed to infiltrate other smart refrigerators, laptops, or other connected devices. Great. Now my refrigerator's not safe because my bed has an AWS key in it. Lord Jesus, come. All right. God mode, a tool. This was, remember, God mode was Uber's controversial tool, allowing people to have monitored users without consent. The key was revoked shortly afterwards, and the exact purpose of the key wasn't known. It was in there so some malicious person could grab a bunch of malicious data until he was caught. I don't know what happens there. I don't know. But anyway, just be aware, your smart beds that are internet connected, your internet connected smart beds is probably spying on you. I wonder if it determines when you have your nightly emissions or other issues going on. Might be doing measurements too. You never know what these beds are doing, folks. Don't put your bed on the internet, folks. That's a creepy place. All right, I think we're going pretty far down hills now, so we better stop before I get myself in trouble. So if you want to help support the channel, we do have a locals page, switchedtolinux.locals.com. You can jump on over there. All right, folks, there is our news for tonight. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Oh boy, now we get the comments. All right, we got 81 watching on Zatubies. Greetings, everybody. Whoa, where are we at? Cat must be MAGA. There you go. Sending him a DM, sending who? Oh, Selbu. That's right. Taking a liking to blue cheese recently. It will totally shock you to know, Hal 9000, I don't like blue cheese either. You do realize those chunks in there are mold, right? Ah! It's like ranch dressing that you left out in the sun too long. All right. By Windows 10, hello Manjaro. There you go. That's a good choice. No, if Pluto's a planet when the Lord returns. There you go, right? First get up there. Any questions you're dying to know? Yes, is Pluto a planet? He's going to look at you, St. Peter's going to look at you, the pearly gates, and say, God hasn't decided. All right, shouldn't be depressed. Should be preparing for the worst and hoping for the best and ready for heaven. There you go. More automation there is, including AI, the dumber we get. Today's society is going to completely mad if we have to resort to brains and brawn to accomplish everything. Yep. Reminds me, we're being taught to live in AD, then all of a sudden it became CE out of nowhere. Yeah, right? CE, because we cannot grasp the fact that Anti-Dominion means the day of our Lord, and we have the entire calendar our world revolves around is revolved around Jesus Christ, folks. Maybe that's a sign. No, it's CE now. CE. We don't want to offend anybody with that AD stuff. What does AD stand for? I have no idea. Ask a random person. Ask 10 random people on the street. Tell you if anybody can tell you what AD means. I didn't like my brother printer because the scanner doesn't scan all the way to the edge of the page. Oh, really? I've never had problems with mine. Interesting. Control the controllable and stay vigilant with privacy. Let's see. I believe we're living in an alternative reality brought off by massive Mandela effect. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Actually, if TrueStream Media's video from today is about like that, if you've not seen TrueStream Media's channel, it's quite creepy and fun. You should go check it out. Their video from today is kind of about that. State of South Australia is set half an hour time zone. When it's midday in Adelaide, it's 3:30 in Sydney. What the hell is wrong with those people? All right. Yeah, I grew up. It was AD. Even documents and movies referred to it that way. Yep. Awesome. I didn't know you were a Christian. Turned my life over to God in my late 20s. You can tell another one. Absolutely. Arcosa. So you might like my channel, Our Walk in Christ. That's actually where I talk about the Christian stuff. I try and keep it at a minimum over here because that's not my objective over here. My objective over here is to, get people pilled out on recognizing the need for privacy and free and open source software and let that go where the Lord leads. But have a look at my channel, Our Walk in Christ, where we have actual Bible studies and things like that. And I have several books on the Christian topics as well you might like. Kids today do not know how to troubleshoot. Flowchart, critical. Yeah. Well, and they've been dumbed down for that. The entire purpose of the education system is to destroy critical thinking and make obedient little soldiers. That was the objective. Honestly, before computers, I had a hard time doing homework. I usually would squeeze it in before school, on the bus, or in the cafeteria. There you go. Hallucinations and loss of critical thinking is very damaging. We are live. Yes, we are. Hello, Neil. Greetings. Having a fairly domineering father provided me enough motivation for me to do my homework. There you go. My only Google use is for YouTube posts. There you go. The AI Google only I saw in a video earlier today, but was on the death of all websites for small businesses. Yeah, that's interesting. What video was that? That sounds fun. Google results for a problem lately has been YouTube Reddit post for something Ubuntu reforms for 20 years ago. Yeah, pretty much. Skype's has been wipes. Skype was just rebranded into Teams like Cortana. They've been different, I think. I mean, I do one of my conferences, the person who runs it uses Teams. So I've logged on with the web browser, and it's definitely different than Skype for sure. Ever clicked on add links on a search result? Yep. All right, AI has quality control issues, but not much more importantly, has quality assurance issues. Yep. Passwords are on a flash drive on my keychain, protected by a password. There you go. Can we use these printers on Linux? Sorry, I'm a noob. Brother printers are one of the best. It does pain me to say it, but HP printers also generally have good Linux support. I just wouldn't be caught dead with an HP product at all. Personally, I find them nope. They're on my permanent list. I will. The last thing I'm going to say on my deathbed, I'm going. HP sucks, don't buy it. That will be my last words. HP sucks, don't buy it, okay? It'll mean that much to me in my deathbed. I'll be telling you not to use HP, okay? But they are well supported on Linux. I will give them that as the only point of fact. Okay, because it's a point of fact. Brother printers have very good support on Linux. Epson printers, generally, I've had good luck with. Canon does release proprietary drivers, but at least they intentionally release drivers. So I generally like your brother printers. So we'll see what happens. There'll be some investor in Matrix. He should be all set, I think. All right. Hopefully it's like a little bit earlier for him, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, Brother does also publish Linux software. I found in most instances, I have not had to actually install the Linux drivers for Brother printers in a long time. It's pretty much embedded into the system now. So, non-standard cartridges are the problem. I'm using an HP from 2011, still running strong. LMDE and Debian 12, love my Brother printer. Yep. I mean, people themselves do themselves a disservice because if people were buying the original cartridges instead of buying the substandard ones, then Brother would not need to do this. One of the challenges, though, is the official cartridges are so expensive for the same thing. If Brother made their cartridges cheaper, people would buy the originals. Like, if it comes down to it, here's the thing. I can go into Amazon and I can buy 2 cartridges that fit my Brother printer. 2 cartridges for $25, and I've never had a single problem with them. But if I want to go to 1 cartridge of Brother's official one, it's $75. Now, I would pay $35 for 2 official Brother cartridges. I would pay more money to Brother to the tune of $10. I am not paying Brother 5 times more for an official cartridge when very clearly there's nothing in that cartridge that is so important that justifies such a high cost. If Brother stops scalping people, they might be doing better off and might be able to actually sell their cartridges. But if it comes down to 2 for $25, 1 for $75, I'm not a brain dead idiot. So that's the thing. Like, I would pay more for the original Brother. I'm not paying 6 times more for the original Brother when I've had the exact same results. All right. Debian-based tend to have better support over Arch since most printer companies will pack the Linux drivers into the deb file. Brilliant interview between Jim Warfare and Jobs Langardi. The latter is a mathematician, very cynical about AI. AI is not intelligent. It's just an algorithm. It's very limited. Yes. So the interview is something like why AI won't rule the world. Oh, that sounds fun. Still miles ahead of HP for now, yeah. Black and white laser master race, not concerned. Yep. Lexmark, underrepresented. I haven't seen a Lexmark printer in years. Do they still exist? I mean, Lexmarks were so cheap as the printers and their ink was so expensive. I used to go out and buy a new Lexmark printer when my ink ran out. I had like 3 of them at one point in time because the ink was so expensive. I'd go to the store and buy one black ink cartridge for like $80 or one Lexmark printer with a starter cartridge for $25. Hey, I was a poor graduate student. I could afford it in $80. I'll just buy a new printer, thank you. Then I have a backup if this one breaks. Oh, dear. Got 20-year-old Samsung still works. There you go. Pikacheeto is an epic name. Yeah. So is Cheetazard. That is a good name. E7000 K of stupidity. The person probably complains about egg prices. Gotta get rid of U.S. aid money before the orange man comes for it. There you go. People are wild with Pokemon cards. Super weird, yeah. Is there a decent map app for Lineage OS? What is it? What is it? Dang it. Yeah, OSM and. So OpenStreetMap Android. That's the one I use now. The limitation on OpenStreetMaps is it is absolutely horrendous if you're looking things up on addresses. But it is far better in most other areas, including having all of the offline trail maps. Like, I've not been in a national park in this country that didn't have the trail maps on that map. So I basically had offline trail maps for national parks, state parks, and even community trails around the country. But it's horrible with addresses. If you type in an address, chances are it won't find it. Fight Cal 93 on Rumble needs banning. I don't have mod status. What? On Rumble? Boom. Goodbye. How do I not... I cannot give you mod status. Why can I not mod status it? Thank you. All right. Not even going to read what you said, dude. You're done. All right. Apparently I missed all the fun stuff over there. Bummer. All right. Let's see. We did that growing up with all 3 of us. Overstreet maps are good. Thank you. And Gen X don't trust AI at all. There you go. Right. All right, well, I'm over here on Rumble. Why can I not give people mod status? I can mute you, I can pin you, I can delete you, but I can't grant you mod status. Why not? I'm going to look into that. Remind me to look into that. Okay, let's see. Pluto is a dog. There you go. We get rid of 1.1 computers. Let's see. Back to paper and pencil. Use Brave Search these days. Brave has AI as well. Oh, yeah. Everything has AI as well. You can turn off Leo in Brave. So apparently it was super spicy over there. Yep. Jeez. Apparently I missed all the fun over there, man. Yeah, it's cold outside. It is. Let's see. Insignificant child, see. There you go. All right, let's see. I don't have a mod status either here. Yep. Ban Mallet has struck on Rumble. That's right. You'll have to look into that. See how I can get mod status on Rumble. But by Google, he says over there. Start page, go. Mojik, Brave, Yandex, and Search X are some options from Xavier over on Odyssey. Okay. Epson EcoTank printers seem to have a pretty good rap. There you go. All right. I think it is. Oh, the kitty's over here bothering me. He's like, it's that time of the. You coming for Bike Week in Daytona? Probably not. Let's see. So thank you for Mavis for showing me your channel years ago. Oh, well, thank you, man. Awesome. Yeah. Mavis is my brother. Mavis Games. He does Twitch streaming. If you like video games and how they're put together, his streams over there. He does a lot of things with 3D modeling. But cool. Well, thanks for joining us, man. So, man, it's superior to Google Maps for displayed information about the planned trip, showing current speed distance. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and feed the beast here. Hey, kitty cat, would you like to be fed? Would you like to be fed? Would you like a kitty treat? Would you like a kitty treat? Yeah. All right, kitty. Join me on the bed, and we'll, oh no, not on my knee right now, buddy. Not on my knee right now. You gotta go to the bed. Okay, you gotta go to the bed. Come here. Come here. Oh, come here. Oh, if I can stand up without dropping the cat, that'd be good. All right. You want a kitty treat? You want some kitty treats? Do ya? You want some kitty treats? It's kitty treats. Oh, that woke the other one up. Here you go. Here you go, buddy. Here you go. All right. All right, there's some Van Panthers. All right, guys, that will do it for today. Thank you guys for hanging out. And how you doing, buddy? So we will catch you guys tomorrow. We have a video on Etcher. Collecting a lot of crazy data. So stay tuned for that one at 11. Writing Done Right tomorrow at 10. Talking a little bit about the Amazon issue from the author's perspective and things like that. With that, guys, thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next time.